The Vera Talk Show. The Vera Talk Show. The Vera Talk Show. The Vera Talk Show. Let's talk about it. 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 On the Vera Talk Show. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm excited tonight. We're getting ready to do something a little bit different than what we normally do. My guest tonight, she is the creator of this sound vibration that can make a difference in your existence and your being. So right now, what I'm asking my audience to do is take a few minutes. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to breathe, and I want you to receive what you are about to hear. So just close your eyes right now and receive this sound. Just feel relaxed. Let go of all the stresses of the day. That was amazing. How are you, Valerie?
Oh, Vera, thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you today.
And we got a comment. Beverly, she says, beautiful sounds.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Beverly.
Thank you, Beverly, for listening. Those sounds, people don't understand the impact of these sounds and how it can resonate with us and help us to become calm and relieve some of the stressors that we may be feeling as a result of our day. You're going to talk
Mhm.
more about that. But first, I want to share a little bit about you, and then I'm going to give you the floor to kind of share your story because our topic is to be seen and be heard, which is a primal requirement, is necessary. And we don't realize that. We've got another comment coming in, though. She said, love sound is healing. Yes, sounds are healing. Yes, they are. So let me read your bio, just a little bit of your bio. Valerie Devi Carpenter. She has a master's in fine arts, is a visionary sound healer, which we just experienced, and embodiment coach, devoted to freeing overextended women from exhaustion, overwhelm, and self-doubt so they can approach life with calm, presence, and enjoy more fulfillment in their work and relationships. Her 40-year career in the performing arts inspired her to create a signature program that has helped hundreds of women unleash the power of their voice for self healing, spiritual growth, and to speak up for what they want and get it. So, before we even talk about all of that, I want you to share with our audience a little bit about your childhood and some of the experiences that you had that impacted on your life and also impacted on your purpose and your passion.
Okay, I am so happy to share that with you, Vera. Thank you so much. And, it is true. I have helped hundreds of women free their voice so they can feel grounded, whole, and able to stand firmly in their power. But it's also true that I grew up in a family where it wasn't safe to express our emotions. So I really know firsthand the pain, frustration, exhaustion, and downright fury that can come from not feeling seen or heard. And I mean, let me just tell you that the emotions I learned to stuff down became so huge, I thought I'd explode. And I had to become a different kind of person than the one that I was born to be until I discovered acting. And suddenly I found a way to give voice to all the feelings I carried inside. I mean, there was Shakespeare, there were the Greeks. They were urging me to be big and passionate. I loved that. But what I didn't realize is that the profession I chose required me to match the pictures the agents and casting directors already had in their heads. And I began to feel as powerless as I did growing up. It was like changing one dysfunctional family for another. But on stage, I was fine. But off stage, I lost all sense of who I was, Vera. I mean, I twisted myself in knots trying to please everybody just to get a job. And let me tell you, I was truly miserable. And this went on for decades. And I often wondered if life would always feel this horrible until years later, I was on a healing retreat in Northern California when, to my surprise, the sky opened and music fell in. And when I looked up, I'm telling you no lies, Vera. Instead of sky and clouds, I could see all of creation as this incredibly beautiful tapestry woven of filaments of color, light, sound, frequency, and vibration. And I was in awe and absolutely at peace. And I began to sing. Now, up until that day, I'd been an actress who didn't sing, couldn't sing. But
Now, you said wouldn't, couldn't sing. Is that because you really felt you could not sing?
oh yeah, I'd been to many auditions and I was told that I couldn't sing. I was told
What?
that I couldn't sing from the time I was in grade school. And they said, you're an alto, go sing with the boys. Better yet, don't sing at all.
And you know what? Let's talk about that. I know you're sharing your story, but to hear, because I was told that too, that
Yeah.
because I came from a singing family. and everybody could sing. And as they say, sang, they could sing.
Uh-huh. Take a
But
thing. That's right.
right, but my voice was not like that. And
Mm.
so it was, I didn't sing like everybody else. So it was oftentimes I felt less than
Mm.
in terms of being able to sing, because I
Mm.
just didn't have the same kind of voice as everybody else. Because my sisters, my brother, my mother, my father, they could sing. We were all in gospel groups all
Mm.
of our lives.
Mm.
But so I can relate to what
Yeah,
you're saying. Okay, but
absolutely.
anyway, go ahead. And I'm almost tempted to say, sing a song. I'm almost tempted to say that to you. If you feel like doing so, by all means, okay? But anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it was really important. Like what you shared, Vera, is so fundamental to how we are. We come out of the wombs. We are these little balls of expressive energy, just wanting to experience life, wanting to experience these brand new bodies that we've been given, and all the sounds that these bodies can make, the little plopping, pooping, you know, yeah, yeah, oh my God, we want that. And we need to have it. And we need adults who can receive it and who have enough time and attention to kind of mirror those things that we came in with and uh, make us feel that, oh, yes, this is who we are. But when we don't have that, our life can take a really different turn. But when I was in this environment and I was singing with all my heart, I can tell you, I wasn't singing alone. It was as if a choir of angels were singing with me. And then I found myself doing these strange tapping movements on my body with it and uttering strange syllables nonstop. As I was singing, I have no idea how this was even physically possible.
You know what that sounds like?
Huh?
Oh my God. That was like a spiritual experience for you.
Yeah.
And what some faiths would say is that you were speaking in what is called tongues. And
Hmm.
are you familiar with that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Others would
so
say I'm crazy.
no, you're not crazy. You were speaking in, well, I mean, for those utterances to come to you out
Mhm.
from nowhere and you didn't understand, you were actually speaking to spirit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, so I understand. If anybody else doesn't, I mean, shame on them. But I understand. You started speaking an unknown language, and the
Mhm.
tapping is also so important. Anyway, I know I need to shut up.
No, not at all, because I knew, I mean, I knew it meant something, and I knew it was beautiful, and I knew that something was coming through me, but I had no idea what. But as soon as I asked the question in my head, "What the heck am I doing?" I heard so clearly this um, very distinct male voice speaking in my right ear, and there was no one else around me. And the voice said I was downloading everything I needed for my future work.
Oh my God. Listen, Beverly, she says, I have spoken tongues since I was 5 years
Wow.
old. Wow, Beverly. So you understand what we're talking about. Oh
Yes.
my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh my
And
goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so anyway, you heard a voice. See, people don't understand
yeah.
when we talk about the Holy Spirit, because
Mhm.
that was that still small voice that you heard. Holy
Mhm.
Spirit speaks in many different ways.
Mhm.
For some people, it is that still small voice. For some
Mhm.
people, it may be through dreams. For other people, it may
Mhm.
be directly from the word. I know with me,
Mhm.
just going to the word and getting answers to things,
Mhm.
and so he spoke directly to you. And what was that message again?
I was just downloading everything I needed for my future work.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, I just felt so blessed. And it felt like the whole thing felt like a baptism. It felt like a sacred initiation.
Thank you.
And then after that, I, I started, there were about 11 other people on this retreat. And I started receiving messages from the earth, from the ancestral realm, from deities for specific people that I did not know outside of this setting, but everything was making very much a lot of sense to them. And so there was some window that opened wide and it never quite shut down. And had to kind of take that into life and go, what the heck do I do now?
Oh
So
my. So how did that impact your acting and the fine arts that you were
yeah.
involved in?
By that time, I actually had retired from acting.
Okay.
And somehow, well, I know exactly how it happened. I got my first mortgage, my first and only mortgage. I bought a house. I never thought I would be able to buy a house, but my landlord passed away, and I was given the option to buy the house I was living in or get out by New Year's. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll get serious about like this 3D reality here and what I need to do to make that happen. And it was far easier at that time, at least, than I ever imagined possible. And I kind of got serious. So I did my day jobs I let those take over. And I was kind of treading water until this experience happened. And then,
Wow.
yeah.
We got another comment. Beverly says, my sister and I used to talk tongues to each other. We understood, but nobody else did. When we didn't want people to know what we were saying, wow.
Oh,
We
Beverly,
used
I
to
love
we,
that.
we used to do that with Pig Latin,
Uh-huh.
which is not the same. It's not the
Right.
same. Oh
Uh,
my goodness.
and I love that, Beverly, that you actually had the means to be seen and heard as this wonderful experience was happening to you. But I mean, for all of you who are listening, do you remember what it's like to be a baby? And or do you have any babies that you know in your life or remember? All they want to do is so I'm going to actually, you said you like to bring some experiential things in. So I'm going
Yes.
to invite everybody. Now we can't hear you. Okay. So this is totally safe and we can't see you. So you're like, Charlie Brown, back of the tree. We can't see you. We can't hear you. So I'm just going to invite you to do a little baby talk and just see what that feels like. So will you do this with me, Vera?
Okay.
For
Okay,
10
but
seconds.
then there's something I want to say about that. But anyway, okay, let's go ahead.
All right. So with me.
Okay. Ya 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 sokono sisi mano kana ya ya makanisi. Ya 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 matakana ya. Okay. Now let me say this. One thing that we do encourage because we want children to learn to speak language.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
even while we accept
Mhm.
this early beginning of learning language, we can't dismiss the importance the importance of when we hear something spoken in English or whatever the language is that a parent may speak, and we understand that there's some things they're trying to say, then I think it's very important that we allow them and show them how to articulate those particular words at an early age, because baby talk is great
Mhm.
for understanding and developing language, but it
Mhm.
is, in my opinion, it is not meant to stay with you for, especially in those formative years. It's time to
Mhm.
teach correct English.
I absolutely agree with you there. And yes, and learning comes easier to a child when they know they've been
Yes.
received. But there are so many ways to shut down kids from a very, very young age.
Let's
And
talk about that. I
yeah,
mean, oh my God.
well, let me ask you, how did it feel to you just to have 5 seconds of baby talk?
It actually felt more like me going into the language,
Yeah,
the tongues. That's what it felt like.
that's right.
And
So
let's see, Beverly, she says, I love the conversation. Oh no, you got to jump into another meeting. Oh my God, Valerie, let's connect. Make it great. Rest of the show. Oh my, well, you
thank
can
you,
catch the
Beverly.
video at the end. Okay, so please, I'm sorry you have to leave. We appreciate your input and your feedback very much so. But anyway, check out the rest of the show later. It will be on YouTube. Okay, all right. Anyway, go ahead. Thank you for being here for the length of time that you have been. All right,
Yeah,
all right.
great. Well, what I saw in you when you were babbling, I saw your face was just lit up, and I'm seeing this bright, beautiful smile on your face. So it gives us a chance to play again. It gives us
Yeah,
a chance to connect to that innocent younger self who so often, because of the way kids are brought up, um,
thank you.
is, is you know, they can be completely shut out from that. And that's the kind of people I work with. So I was very fortunate. I mean, I didn't come from, uh, I, we always had everything that we needed. We had a roof over our head. We had enough food. So I wasn't dealing with, you know, those severe problems. There was no alcoholism in my immediate family. It's just that they didn't know how to express emotion. They didn't
And
know
see,
how to deal with emotion. They didn't know how to deal with loudness.
and
So,
don't you feel, I mean, but
mhm,
isn't that just as impactful?
it is. It is. Um, because in my own experience, I just, the message I got was who I am and the way I express myself and what's natural to me isn't welcome and it's harmful. Mother has a headache. Modulate your voice. Be quiet. Don't sing. Don't run. Don't jump. Just be smaller than you are. So, right away, our parents, even the ones with the best intentions,
Yes.
have a way of putting us in a box. And they give us a little hat, which I never knew I got, but I call it the cap on joy. So they give us this
I
little
love that. The cap on joy.
yeah, that says, well, this much joy is too much, so let's keep it down to this. Okay, this much joy is too much. No, that's too much. Okay, is this much joy okay? Is this much joy okay? Oh, I guess no joy is okay. I guess no joy is okay.
And I mean, and parents, I want you to really listen to what we're saying because parents oftentimes don't realize
Mm-hmm.
the limitations that they are putting on their children when they don't allow them to express. Right now, I'm staying with one of my best friends, and she's got a granddaughter who is she's not even 2 years old yet, I don't believe, but she knows her ABCs. She can
Mm-hmm.
count.
Mm-hmm.
She can spell her name.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of the work that's been put into this child.
Mm-hmm.
I've already asked for videos of this little girl. She knows she went into her grandmother's refrigerator and was able to identify the various vegetables and
Mm-hmm.
she's not even 2 years old. But that's because parents have they've
Uh,
listened,
yes.
they've listened, and they've heard her.
Yes.
Oh, This is so important.
So I'd love to talk about something that not a lot of people understand this, but they don't know it. They can't verbalize what it is. But and I'm going to preface it by saying that I've I've seen hundreds and hundreds of people in my studio here, and they come in with anxiety, panic attacks, chronic stress, pain, uh, lifelong chronic illnesses, sometimes life-threatening illnesses. And what I found out that they all have in common is that they were squashed down at an early
As
age.
a child.
Yes. And it's so important for a developing nervous system to have two things. First is safety, and the second is connection. Okay. Now, anybody who has had a child or held a child knows that a child's primary safety comes from connection, comes from touch, comes from voice, comes from facial expressions. And that's because in our nervous system, there's a part that's called the social engagement system. And this is a part of the nervous system that's only found in higher level mammals. So cats, dogs, elephants, primates, horses have a developed social engagement system because it's necessary for their survival. And
Say that again.
okay,
It's necessary for their survival.
it is. It absolutely is. So in order for an infant to flourish, she needs to be held, touched. She needs the sound of the voice. So it's our sense organs that receive this information, and it's our sense organs that share this information. So, what are the cues of safety? A warm, soothing tone of voice, eyes that are soft and really see you, facial expression that is open, warm, and welcoming, physical touch that feels safe, gentle, and loving. And when we don't have that, for whatever reason, we start finding ways to get it or just to keep us safe in the absence of it. So, yeah, go ahead.
And as a result, that's why and there are signs that others can see that will let you know whether or not a child is deprived of that emotional connection,
Mm,
having not being, the verbal abuse, the emotional abuse,
mhm,
the lack of listening, and
mhm,
the impact that this is having on our kids. And we wonder why kids don't have high self-esteem or confidence, and they're suffering
mhm,
from anxiety and phobias and all these things that spill on over into adults.
mhm. When we don't give our kids attention, they have a deficit. So, attention deficit disorder. Okay. When
Woo!
we don't, when we cease to see and hear our elders, they forget themselves. Make sense? So our
Yeah.
attention and our presence is so important in the world. And I work with women in their 70s who are trying to heal from these very early years where they either grew up in a family where there was alcoholism or narcissism, or their parents were just busy workaholics, or their parents didn't like each other very much and there wasn't a solid home base. And they're still dealing with it.
Yes. And yet, parents will
Mhm,
say, they are staying in those kinds of marriages and relationships. And they say, what do they say? What do they normally say?
For the kids.
Yes, for
That,
the kids. And
that's
what they
that's
don't
where my girl can.
and
Yep.
the problem is you don't understand the damage
That's right.
that this is causing for your kids. If they're not seeing love, if they're not seeing you interacting and engaging in a positive way with your spouse, how do you expect them to know how to do it?
Hmm. Yeah. But I want to give parents a little bit of a break too, because
Yeah,
it ain't
let's
easy. It doesn't really come with a guidebook. This information about the social engagement system being a really important part of our nervous system, that's only been in the public awareness for the last 20 years. Okay. And it takes years and years for things like that to catch on. Um, so, and even parents with the best of intention and
right.
the most love, if tragedy strikes the family and suddenly everybody is in a state of PTSD, the children will, the young children and the children who are maybe even in utero will inherit that in their nervous system, and they will become
Yes.
tired. And I'd love to tell you a story about one of my favorite people in the world, who is a client of mine, who at the age of 2 weeks, she was um, diagnosed with a staph infection and had to go into the hospital to be in an isolation tent. Okay, so in this isolation tent, she couldn't be touched. Anytime she was touched, she had to use the attendants would use gloves. She was separated at 2 weeks of age from the mother's voice, the mother's breast, the mother's skin. So her whole life had altered because of that. And she is an incredibly talented artist and writer, and she's functioned really, really well. But we've had the opportunity to do some very, very deep work together.
Absolutely. I would imagine, being a coach and understanding how you have to peel those layers and
Mm-hmm.
and for her to be able to recognize that was lacking at an early age. But yet,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if it was through counseling and coaching that she was able to overcome and excel anyway. But it's so sad because so many times young people become adults who don't know how to
Yeah.
cope and
Yeah.
excel.
Yes. So yeah, we worked together just recently, and she said, and all of this has been revealing to her, has been showing up for her, and she's very skillful at working and doing deep inner work and taking deep dives into healing work, but it keeps coming back, and she came in with this feeling like this hunger that never gets fed. So that's what I would love to share with the parents on this call, is we really need to feed that hunger for
Yes.
connection and touch
Yes.
and safety that the children need. And that is actually the way to stop the sickness in our society.
Yes.
It's so widespread.
Yes. And I mean, this is an emotional topic because
Mm.
parents, and again, we're not trying to beat up on parents. We're not trying to say when we know better, we do better. And so often parents grew up with that stuff
Right.
that they don't know themselves how to deal with it.
And there are always
So
going to
we're,
be lapses. you know, we're parents, you know, parents can't be perfect, and they're not expected to be superhuman, with 100% attunement all the time. But if you keep returning to that, and the child knows that that is the baseline, that that is the norm, you know, then the nervous system develops its resiliency.
And when you talk about resiliency, see, young people don't understand what is meant by that. And
Hmm.
unless it's shown, unless it's seen, how do you become resilient when you've
Mm,
been verbally, mentally, emotionally drained
yeah,
from the time you were a child?
yeah.
And one of the things, having experience, this is why
Hmm.
this is so dear to me, having experienced some of that myself, but
Hmm.
then reading Eleanor Roosevelt's quote, no one
Hmm.
can make you feel inferior without your permission. That
Hmm.
changed my life, just
Right.
thinking and understanding. Just because you're lacking in that emotional security that you need, just because you didn't get those affirmations
Hmm.
and the love shown to you the way it was for your benefit, just because you may have
Hmm.
grown up with no confidence, no self-esteem because of how other people treated you, just because does not mean it has to be.
Yeah.
And our past does not have to define
Yeah.
our future.
But sometimes these emotions, they and and traumas, they get locked into the body. They get
Yeah.
locked into our cells. They get locked into our nervous system. And so we kind of get into a freeze in some ways. And I have found through my history in the theater, through my history working with clients, through my history working with sound, is that the best way to repair that and to get unstuck is to learn to unlock our own expression through movement, through sound, and uh, because when we use sound, right, we can't stay stuck. We can't.
Right. And yes, we've got a comment here. Frank says, Valerie helped me to become a whole person at the age of 60 for the very first time in my life. She helped me overcome and heal from childhood trauma. Life is now wonderful. I can love. I can create. I can help others. Oh, this is so beautiful. And I know I feel like crying.
Yeah.
I know you do. Oh my God, Frank, thank you so much for sharing. That
Yeah.
is beautiful. That is beautiful. A beautiful testimonial.
Frank, I'm so
Absolutely.
happy you're here. And Vera, Frank is the writer and illustrator of the book that we're about to launch together.
Okay, let me pull that book up. Oh my goodness, this book.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, you did a beautiful job illustrating this.
Yeah.
Let me pull down the comments so that we can see the full book. Um,
Can you take down the last
yeah, I am. I'm trying. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay.
You're on top of
Oh
it.
my God, this is beautiful. Okay, so, oh my God, burglar in my body. And Frank is the one that did the illustrations for this.
This is Frank's story. So we
Oh
were working together
wow.
for about a year, I would say, and I was working with him with a lot of different sound modalities just to kind of help lift him out of the anxiety. But then we started working with shamanic journeying. So all that is a form of visionary journeying.
I was
And
going to ask you, can you kind of give an example of what that is?
yeah, it's you are guided by the beat of a drum to go into a meditative state. So the drum beat actually puts you into a theta state, which is a meditative state. And you can go there into, you're actually kind of crossing the veil. So we live in this 3D world of physical reality, but there's an invisible world. That's the world that the languages come from, right? And by journeying, you can step into the world of non-ordinary reality. And it's something that all of our indigenous ancestors used to do. So there's ordinary reality and there's non-ordinary reality. So Frank was so skillful in navigating this world of non-ordinary reality. And he would come back with so many incredible experiences and encounters and questions. And then we worked together, and Frank started giving me some illustrations that just showed me what he was feeling inside. And they were so evocative and so incredibly powerful that I suggested, why don't you keep doing this? And he developed this incredible graphic memoir with I wish I had some more drawings to share with you, but the book was going to come out soon. And his story is fascinating.
When we say burglar in my body, when I hear that, burglar in my body, it's like, it feels like when a burglar, so being robbed.
Yeah.
Being robbed of an existence, which basically his testimonial to you, he was robbed of an existence that you pulled out of him at the age of 60.
I wouldn't say I pulled it out of him.
He pulled it out of him.
I would say he got support, a lot of support. He got support from me. He got support from the spirit world. He was able to attune to me and to his spirit guides and helpers. And he was able to feel deeply seen and deeply heard. I hope I'm getting this right, Frank. And from there, he just blossomed. And it was so wonderful to watch this transformation.
Well, he's coming back. He said, that's how I felt all my life. I was a vagrant, not deserving of my life. So that burglar inside of you, in essence, took your life, took your essence. But you got it back. Yes, you got it back. Oh my goodness. And you know what? We've been talking all this time, and I do have a couple of commercials that I need to play. So let me do that, and we will be right back. So I'm going to play a few of them at one time.
Hallelujah.
Hey there. Jason McNamara here, and I'm about to drop something truly game-changing your way. Are you tired of the same old 9-to-5 grind? Feeling stuck in obtaining the life you deserve and craving something more? Well, listen up, because I've got something you will not want to miss. Introducing the No More 9-to-5 Club Professional Membership, your ticket to freedom and success in the entrepreneurial world. With our professional membership, you'll get access to weekly coaching sessions, pre-recorded trainings, and a vibrant community of fellow game changers. You get access to technology that will allow you to automate passive income streams, as well as unlock all of our expert-led trainings in the back office so you know where to go for good advice when you need it. You will also use the club to build up a residual income stream with a 2-tier 33% affiliate commission unlocked at this level, allowing you to help people help themselves while generating a residual passive income stream for yourself. And here's the kicker. For a limited time, you can unlock all of this just for a $1.11 donation to our club foundation.
I like this one.
Your first month is on us. So what's holding you back? Click the link below, make your donation, and let's start building the life and business of your dreams together. Here at the No More 9 to 5 Club, we're all about turning dreams into reality and smashing through those glass ceilings.
That's what I'm talking about, Jake.
Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out, we've got the tools and support you need to thrive and evolve. And don't forget to sign up for our bootcamp training. It's the perfect way to kickstart your journey and unlock even more perks. So what are you waiting for? Join the No More 9 to 5 Club today and let's make those dreams a reality. I can't wait to see you on the inside. You only get one now. Invest it in your better future. Let's make magic happen together.
Ah, you amazing souls. I see that you have a lot of questions, and I understand. And all this is about the upcoming mental health conference right here in New York City on the 24th and 25th of April. I understand more than anyone else, attending an in-person conference is very overwhelming. And you may have a lot of concerns about the audience and selling your products and the value of your talk. However, I want to assure you that as a speaker, your voice and experiences have immense value. Your journey, struggles, and the person you have become are incredibly powerful, and by sharing your story on stage, you're offering something unique and impactful. Remember that you are not just selling a product or service, but rather sharing a part of yourself that can inspire and make a difference in the lives of those who listen. As for attendees, please believe in the influence you have cultivated through your followers. New York City is a vibrant hub of energy, and I have no doubt that many of your amazing followers will be eager to hear you speak and meet you in person, as well as experience the incredible energy you have to share. Your presence alone will be a magnet for those who resonate with your message. You see, I speak from experience when I say that this conference is an opportunity for you to make a significant impact. Your Trauma Talk is a vision that has been brewing for a while. Now it is a reality. See that? I want to encourage you now to click that link and help me to make a difference right now. All you need to do is take the first step and invest in yourself and register, and Ra will meet you in person in New York City, where we can connect and share more powerful energy. This is Ra, and I love you all.
Yes, no more drama. Your trauma talk. Your trauma talk. I am one of the speakers that's going to be there on June 13th to talk about the traumas, the dramas, and the abuse that many have experienced in their childhood that has impacted on their lives. And we want you to know that just because you've gone through those things does not mean that you have to stay there. And so you can click on, as a matter of fact, the QR code. You can click on there and register. I hope to see you there for the No More your Trauma Talk. I want to keep saying no more drama. Your Trauma Talk on June 13th. I'm going to remove this banner that's scrolling here so that you can actually use get the QR code, and by all means check it out. Check it out. Okay, let me remove that. Okay, yes. So there's the QR code. Hope to see you there for your Trauma Talk on June 13th. Click on it now. And then your No More 9 to 5. Let me tell you a little bit about that. No More 9 to 5 is an awesome, absolutely awesome networking opportunity for people who want to network, want to be involved in a mastermind where you're learning all kinds of things, and also have an opportunity for residual income and look at ways of multi streams of income. You want to check out No More 9 to 5, and I put the link in the comments, and you can join the first month $1.11. $1.11. And that money goes to veterans. So check out No More 9 to 5. It is in the comments. And I do have one more that I need to share, and then we will be right back.
Mama Knows creates high quality products that are available to be used on multiple textures of hair. Her goal is to bridge the gap to stop people from having to use multiple products because of families with multiple hair types. Her products are currently being used on men, women, children of all ethnicities. Mama Knows products are available at www.mamaknowsproducts.com. That's www.mamaknowsproducts.com. You can also find her on Instagram at Mama Knows Products because, you know, Mama knows what you need.
Let me tell you about these products. They are amazing. They smell great and they work wonderful on your hair. And they're for all ethnic groups and for boys, girls, males, and females. Smells great. Smells absolutely wonderful. Shampoos, conditioners, hair serums. Absolutely wonderful. You need to check out mamaknowsproducts.com. Why? Because Mama knows what you need. So check it out. Check it out. All right, let's get back to what we were talking about. Oh my God, there's so much more. And I know we've only got about 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes actually, but let's get back. I needed to share those commercials. I had to do that. So anyway, back to our conversation.
Okay.
And let me get this off of here as well. Okay. Now, in the chat, you will see how to connect with Valerie. You can connect with her, and you also can get her free gift. And all of that is in the chat. So go to the chat, set up a time to schedule a meeting with her, connect with her on her website, and get the free gift. Yes, get the free gift. All right, and it's all in the comments. It's all in the comments. So, okay, so Valerie, we have unpacked a lot of good stuff here today. And you had a client that sang your praises. Which is wonderful. Congratulations on that. Now, I'd like for you to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about right now. I'm going to give you the floor.
Well, I'm going to invite you and your audience to have another experience with me.
Okay.
If that's fine, if that's okay. So remember, I talked about the building resiliency in the nervous system. And I also talked about sound and emotion, just energy. It's all energy that gets stuck in her body. And so I want to give you a really, really simple technique that really anybody can do at any time. And I'm going to move a little bit back so you can see more of my body. And hopefully you see, I won't stand up since you won't be able to see me. But ideally, our nervous system, we move from the highs of, oh gosh, I feel connected to you, Vera. I feel safe. I feel alive. The world is looking good, to, oh my God, something happened. I'm feeling triggered. What's happening? Oh, okay. That's okay. And okay, everything's safe. I can go back up here, right? But then I get triggered again, and oh my God, it's really triggering something, and I don't feel safe. And so I'm going to be like really vigilant. I'm going to lash out, right? That, there's the fight and flight. Or I'm just going to, oh God, no, it's really too bad. It's really not safe. So I'm going to kind of freeze here, and I'm just going to stay. And then suddenly it's like, okay, no, this is just too overwhelming. And I'm going to collapse now. And I'm going to hide because it's too scary. It's too scary. And now there's just no energy left to get out of this stage. So I'd love to ask you in the audience, how, do these stages feel familiar to you? And I bet they do. But what we want to do with our nervous system is develop the resiliency so that we can go up and down the ladder. Because we're not meant to, stay on a high all the time. We're meant to respond to challenges that come. Somebody beeps a horn loudly in back of us. We need to assess what's going on, right? So it's not a time to stay dreamy, la la land, I'm all connected, I feel great. It's time to go, oh, what's around me? Okay. And then hopefully we can come back. And then even when we get triggered emotionally and we start feeling defensive and like shutting down, we can find ways to come back. So I'm going to give you this really very, very simple technique. And I hope you guys all do this with me. And it's just called the siren. And we're going to use one syllable. This is how to go from stressed out to wow. From wiped out to wow in one syllable. Okay, so the syllable is and then we're going to do it backwards. So in order to get some movement out of it, I'm going to use my hands, and I'm going to use my voice, and I'm going to use my body. So it might be something like this. Taking in a deep breath down below, going from low to high on woo-ee. Woo-ee. Taking another breath at the top and going down on wee-oo. Let's just do that 2 more times together. Last time.
Now, most people would see that and think something's wrong with them. But you are showing the impact of sound and healing, which is what you do. That's what you do.
And I heard you playing along. How do you feel just after that one little exercise?
I can feel it, now I use different techniques to get past that kind of stuff. I'm more into the PQ are you familiar with PQ? So I use a lot of tactile and breathing myself to, and so what you're doing is kind of new to me, I will say.
And how did you feel?
I could feel it. I could feel it. It was different. It was different, and I'm sure that as you practice this technique, it's going to help level you and help you be more resilient, because you're putting yourself in that high level and bringing yourself back down so that you can have a sense of balance, it would seem.
Yeah.
Did I explain that pretty good?
That was beautiful. That was really beautiful. And you opened up something else, is that a lot of people, when they're stuck, when their nervous system is stuck, they'll get a very flat aspect to their voice, and their voice won't have a lot of highs and lows. But did you hear where you were just going up and down?
Yes.
And your voice had a lot of range. And
yes,
I swear your cheekbones are half an inch higher. You have got these beautiful cheekbones, and there's even more kind of light in your face. And for
And,
me,
and that's amazing when you do make those connections, those spiritual connections. It does change your continence.
yes,
It really, really does. And so people that are feeling down and discouraged and all that stuff, focus on the light,
mhm,
focus on positive sounds radiating up and down. Focus on what, those positive thoughts, and prayer. I mean, for me, prayer does it every time. So, but
and I'm
wow,
going to add something to that. So rather than just focusing on them, make them, let the energy move in your body.
I love that.
Yes. And prayer is sound healing because words have an intention and they have the frequency is there in the word and in the intention. So we started today with this beautiful prayer that you offered.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, it lifted my heart and it calmed my mind and it was so beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And she has a book, Free Your Voice. Free Your Voice.
It's
Free Your Voice. Check out, and you can contact her. Her information is in the comments. And Valerie, it has truly been a pleasure and an honor to have you here. And we have ran out of time. I am going to give you the last word. And after that, I want to say to our listening audience, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for participating and sharing. Frank, thank you for that awesome testimony that you gave. Really appreciate it. And so I'm going to give you the last words, and then I'm going to say to our listening audience, see you on Thursday. God bless you and have a wonderful, wonderful remaining week. And you have the floor, and then we'll say good night.
Okay, well, I can see that we're already a minute or two past the time. So I'm going to just leave you with one word, and that word is woo-wee.
Yes, love it. Thank you. God bless. And we'll see you all next week. All right. Whoo, wee.
The